Hello, y'all. Oh my goodness, it was a day today. I was in a funk all day today. And I'm like, what is it? What is going on? It's just this energy shift. And then I don't know, comfort eating. And it was just a downward spiral, y'all. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on and do a reading on, the truth that you need to hear. I was in this space of like, let's hear some truth and let's talk about things. Like, let's get down to brass tacks in a situation. So, whatever you've come here for, we're going to deliver the truth in this. Now, I don't want to dive too deeply into connections. However, I am fully aware that connections are the catalyst for our growth. And so I don't know if I'm on this weird timeline of, do I do it? Do I don't do it? I want to do it in the right way if I'm going to do it. And it's just like, it's this tug and pull in terms of discussing connections, but realistically, that's what people want to hear about too. So it's kind of frustrating. Trying to build a following in a space where the majority of people that are going to view your content are doing it because of a connection. So so I figured, you know what, we'll just make it very vague and we'll make this about some truth that you need to hear in this moment. Instead, kind of do a workaround here a little bit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. Hello, group 1. The interesting thing, group 1, about the truth in your situation is that, seeing the devil card come out would be, in my opinion, a territory that I wouldn't personally want us to be in, if I'm going to be honest. Why do I say that? I always say, if I'm going to be honest, as though I'm not perpetually honest. Sometimes I'm too honest, honestly. So, see? There we go. Again, with that. Anyway, I don't know why I say that, but sorry, I just had a squirrel moment. But anyway, actually, I don't think I'm going to use that deck. I would normally see the devil card as something to be concerned about, but when the devil card is Selma Hayek and it's from the Dusk Till Dawn movie and she's coming out like a goddess, it's just such a different vibe than the normal devil card, in my opinion. It comes out with a totally different energy because of who is on the devil card. And even though we know that she's a vampire, and we know that she's like, what is she? She's like the head vampire even. And we know that she's this soul-sucking energy vampire, right? But look at, she's a goddess. So it gives a different vibe. And the vibe that it gives realistically is being in this space of being able to really alchemize our what do I say, like being in a space of alchemizing our less than ideal traits, or our demons, or the internal world within us, or the things that we view within self as our quote unquote flaws, that actually when we dive deep into the darker parts of ourself, we can really grow into we can grow exponentially in that space, actually. So I feel like your message of truth is surrounding something along those lines. I do have a vibe too, and I think it's just because I tend to tap into energetic alignment within this collective quite a bit. But there's this little saying that I found it in a meme. It's like this little frog with sunglasses, and it says, even baddies get saddies. And then like that quote come up when I was just now, when I was thinking about bringing out the truth for you, right, was, some kind of message about dusting yourself off and picking yourself up and reminding yourself who you are. we're going all over the place with these. So if you're new here for a moment, I had thought that I was going to utilize the same cards in each space. And like, if you were in the group 1 collective, you were always going to have sort of the same main tarot cards. And then if you popped into group 2, you're going to have the same main tarot cards, etc. And so on and so forth. And I did that for like a few readings, and then recently it's like been very I've been reminded that that might not, like, it was a good idea in retrospect, but then when you get into energetic alignment and you realize that the energies shift so frequently that it's kind of difficult to maintain that energetic alignment, because then certain decks kind of tap in. I feel like I'm a little bit chatty in your energy, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. What is the truth that group 1 needs to know and needs to hear? Let's get into it. Oh boy. At least the tower in this deck is so cute. Look at it. It's like, I'm the tower, but I'm not, but I'm adorable, so it's okay. That's that, and hey, it's followed by the 10 of Cups, so cannot be a bad thing. 4 of Swords in the reverse. One more here. Wheel of Fortune. Got the King of Wands here on the bottom of the deck. Okay, we'll pull out any more cards that we need to if it feels necessary, I suppose. But let's see here. Okay, there was a situation in which you were providing a lot of patience, and I think you kind of grew impatient a little bit. So it's looking as though we got tired of that. So there was a little bit of imbalance in a certain space or a situation in which you, like, your patience was really being called to the forefront, and there was this just kind of undoing, right? Or some kind of tower moment. I really feel like this is past energy a little bit here, just with the 10 of Cups being in the center of the reading. If it was very present, a present tower moment, I just really wouldn't think that the 10 of Cups would be sitting right next to it, or the 4 of Wands in reverse, or the Wheel of Fortune for that matter. So it does seem like something really kind of shook you off or took you off balance a little bit in the past, or in the most recent past, or sometime within this year, right? There was like a moment that really knocked you off. And this moment, however, the way that's coming through with this Devil card is that this allowed you the space, the time, and the ability to develop skills within this space that will bring you into this 10 of Cups vibe. So there's something that you learned, and this is coming more so through as a congratulations in that moment and in that space of something that you worked on as a result of this tower is paying off now. And so the truth that's coming in is that so how it's being presented is, if you have felt that this is all without purpose, or you've been sort of down in the dumps or looking at life and going, I had this come up the other day in a reading too. It was like that Cardi B part, and she's like, what was the reason? And that's how it's coming through now is why am I doing this? Like, why am I enduring this? And why am I going through this? And I think what the message is coming in and the guidance surrounding you in this moment, or at least the energetic alignment, is that this was for your benefit. This was for your greater good. And that and there's also this major awareness, or there is this major congratulations, at least, saying like, okay, like, we know that it was difficult. We know that you were in this space in which you were really struggling, had a tower moment, went through this period of time where you fell off balance, but it's coming, and you have brought it up. And I know I hate being in a space as a reader that's like, it's coming, because I feel like that can really place us in a space of purgatory, if you know what I mean, where it's then you end up in this space of it's always coming. So I do want to put out there too, to put yourself in energetic alignment, and then don't dwell. So this is a situation that you're really in a space of dwelling on. Try whatever you can to get out of that that space. Distract yourself in some way, do something, start a hobby or something, you know, and to get out of a space of dwelling on anything or putting worry into it. Because what you are learning in this moment is that the energy, and I swear, I feel like sometimes I'm just like a broken record on this channel, but it's the energy that you put into it is the energy that you'll receive back. And that's so important to understand in terms of energetic alignment. So this moment and this truth that's coming in is sort of a way of reminding you of the work that you've already put in and being able to look back at where you've come from, especially with that Four of Swords coming in the reverse, because the Four of Swords in the upright would be that you were in a space of, or a state of reflection or healing, or kind of going through this moment, right, of self-reflecting. However, coming out of that, we're into the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is wheels moving in motion, right? Things are coming to fruition, things are happening, and that you actually are in a space of being in alignment with what you have given in the past in certain situations and scenarios, and that the things that you learned are paying off and moving forward. And there is this hit too of, actually, let's clarify this King of Wands energy. Something a little bit more passionate. There is some hit about like foundation, like building the foundations within a certain space. You may have been in an area where you walked away from something that maybe was giving, that just didn't feel fair. It didn't feel, there wasn't, I just see the Temperance in reverse with the scales coming in. The scales remind me always of justice. And here on the bottom, just in talking about this, I want to say that there was, in connection to this Five of Cups, some sort of repeating cycle in the past and in the situation that was imbalanced, likely surrounding equal give and take, or likely surrounding some sort of, because that's just oftentimes what it is, especially in connections and in situations with other people where when there is an imbalance, it's typically like one person is giving more than the other, or sometimes it's those anxious and avoidant attachment styles, right? However, that what this truth is that you know better, you've learned the lesson here. And so it is this reminder a little bit to not repeat a cycle, but it feels more so as then it's just sort of clarifying this past energy. And then coming into this present, you know, the present scenario is that we're going to move now in a space where those who approach you are much more passionate about their approach towards you. These are people that want to build with you. These are people that want to alchemize with you. So the truth in this moment is that you are kind of stepping into an alignment with your greater good. You're stepping into an alignment with purpose here, with the things that you have given in the past are now sort of being presented to you in the present or in the near future. It doesn't always provide timelines, but again, our resistance to acceptance and our resistance to surrender can actually prolong our manifestation. So you really have to be in awareness with that, and in awareness with your energetic alignment in particular, because that is going to be what catapults you forward. In this moment, I just shuffled and noticed, ironically, I have the Empress in reverse, but I also have the Fool right next to it, and Strength here as well. And the interesting thing about this is it seems actually that there's this moment that you're being sort of reminded. It's like, it's kind of reminding you to step into who you are and how, like, how do I say this? It's like stepping into your authenticity, stepping into who it is that you have worked so hard to become, and not forgetting that. And really, there's a moment, I think there's a pivot, or there's a dip, right, in the energy in this moment where there's been sort of a high and it's kind of dipped down into a low in terms of the current of the energetic alignment that this collective is currently in. And in this space, it can really allow us to get a little bit off balance, right? It can allow us to look at ourselves sort of like, you just being sort of fed up a little bit is the kind of the energy, and kind of being over you know, whatever experience that you're having, or it's more of like a stagnancy of experience, right? It's kind of being in this space of stagnant, where nothing's kind of moving forward or moving at all. Y'all, literally today I was talking to someone and I was like, I don't know, I feel off today. And they're like, are you okay? And I said, I don't know, I feel like I just need to rearrange furniture. Like, you know what I'm talking about though? Is like you don't know what needs, like you need some kind of change, but you don't know what it is. And so you're just like, maybe if I just like move my bedroom around, I'll feel better. Which ironically, for a lot of people, especially women in particular, or the feminine energy, like it actually does work for some reason. So maybe do that while you're waiting. You know, just rearrange your house. Or go through all your things and put them into tubs because you're going to throw them away and sell them in a garage sale, which I'm also doing that as well. Let's go ahead and get you into, I'm actually going to pull out, let's see. We can do some energy cards, and I think that I'll do the Wisdom Oracle deck for this and then get you some message cards, I think from the Gabrielle Bernstein deck. So what is the energy in this situation? Okay, that's a little bit too much. What is the energy for... I have Unfinished Symphony. This could be, not to like get woo-woo on you. Could be something coming in from the past or some kind of scenario. All that glitters is gold in the reverse. Come to the edge and blessed. I do also have a never-ending story coming out here in the reverse as well. I think that's all I'm going to get. And you know what? I'm just going to bring this out as well. We have the Thinker in the reverse as well. So, oh gosh, I almost dropped all these. Okay, let's put those somewhere else. So you actually may be moving out of a space of overthinking. This could be, okay, just with the vibes that is going on within this space is that this could be surrounding a connection or definitely counterpart energy with the yin card coming up. You know, perhaps there is, you know, someone coming in or someone in your energetic field in this moment who is intended to be the yin to your yang, right? Now, the interesting thing is the flexibility thing is talking about these things, the things that you learned in the space of setback, in sort of the pullback. I don't know if I've talked about it in this collective at all, but especially within Mercury retrograde, but there is sort of this alignment there's like a pullback in this energy, sort of like an arrow, right? Where you pull back and then you're in the tension. And when you're in the tension, it can feel really uncomfortable. But then it's sort of that concept, like what goes up must come down kind of thing. So when when anxiety is super high or tension is very high, like all that's got to come back down into balance. And when it's very high, it's going to have a major drop, which is actually going to catapult you up into an alignment, right? And to balance you out into a space of buoyancy almost within the energetic field. And so when you get that arrow and it's kind of like catapults you up to the top, that's when you're going to ride a big high, okay? And I think in this big high is when you're going to sort of wake up to the reality of this yin and yang space, right? Not even wake up to it, but it's going to be presented to you in some way. Timeline, I don't know. I did see the number 8 just come out really quickly. I don't know what that means, but I saw it. But I see 8 also as an infinite number. So again, we need to be very cautious surrounding resistance in particular, and how that can like, yes, there is a lot of learning within the space of resistance in order to alchemize, but staying in resistance actually prolongs that occurring. Okay, so being flexible, this is something that you learned in this space, like in the tower moment, and in that pull backwards, there was some sort of behavioral pattern that was kind of broken in this space where you learned a new way of being, essentially. And this flexibility, I do feel it's like patience in particular is like at the forefront. There is sort of some kind of a situation or a scenario or event or person in which there is like unfinished business coming through pretty strongly, actually, with this unfinished. It's coming through in these three cards in particular. So coming through with the unfinished symphony card, the never ending story. Never ending story. Okay, sorry. In the reverse. And all that glitters in the reverse as well. So in those three cards, it does have this like very like coming in to get what's ours vibe kind of thing. And so, and I know already there's going to be people that are like, I don't want them back, and in the comment section, like, I'm not your keeper. I'm just the messenger. Like, if you don't want somebody from the past, you don't have to do that. I'm just delivering you a message. It doesn't mean, oh, they're coming back to you and you got to take them back. No, it very well could be like okay, so part of your learning process here is that this person that maybe you used to be really hung up on is coming back from the past, and you're like, no, screw you, dude. Look at me. I've grown. Bam. New timeline. Like, please don't take things so literally. Like, I don't want that person. Okay, well, luckily for you, there's free will. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading the cards, baby. Okay? So take it as it resonates, group one. But there is some sort of leap forward, though, that is occurring, and being in the space of gratitude is super important in this moment. So whatever it is, and it actually does read in that duality. So it either can be just grateful for what you learn in order to accept something new for yourself, or being grateful for what you learned because there were mistakes that were made. So it's kind of one or those other, like one or the other. And the interesting thing about this and how it's being presented to me is that together right now, like among the collectives that are tapping into this, you're both in this moment together where there's something coming in, right? And so then what you're gonna do is like, you're gonna break away and go into a new energetic alignment, right? The people who go this way are sort of having learned from something, learn from their mistakes, and these people are sort of going on it in a new way with a totally different energetic alignment, or a totally different person that they learn from in this past space. So there's like two spaces here, and then you're going to enter a fork in the road. So just put that in your thinker, okay? Cool. Either way, you are going to come out of this with an immense amount of gratitude and really feeling blessed for the things that you have learned in that past space in particular. Like really being able to alchemize this into your new beginning, into the future, into many of the choices that you're making now and moving forward are going to exist within this learning process of something that occurred in the past. So in my opinion, group one, the message that's coming in for you most prominently in this moment is congratulations on all that you have worked on to get into this moment. I think that's actually where I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading, because I feel like that's the perfect ending note for your read. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below. Those are my favorite parts. Turn on notifications so that you can be notified when new videos come up. Thank you so much, group one, for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Group two. Y'all, it is so hot in this room right now. I have this giant, I got this new light so that I could record at any time if I wanted to, and it's dark out right now. And so I bought this, I don't know what it's called realistically. It's like one of those, I think it's like a beauty light or something. It's hot. It's very hot. It's warm today. It's like 80 degrees today. What's the temperature where you're at? Actually, where are you at? Where in the world are you? Comment that. Let me know. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Okay, anyway. Okay, group 2. Let's go ahead and get into the truth in this moment. Okay, there's something that is coming in quickly. I feel like, sometimes I feel like that was kind of a duh moment with the Chariot card, because that's literally like the representation of the Chariot is like, there's something coming in quickly. And then it's like, okay, what? So we're actually going to move on from that, because energetically, that's like the only thing that is being showed really is forward movement. Also seeing the 8 of Wands, same exact energy in my opinion. Well, it's a little bit different. Like the 8 of Wands is sort of coming in with like no regard, and then this guy is like a little, the energy kind of reminds me of like back in the like way back in the olden days when everything was delivered by snail mail, and then they would like push in those like where people would deliver a message and have like a telegram come, and it was like the quicker, I don't know, that's like the vibe of the Chariot a little bit. It's like a little more proper about the message that's being delivered, I suppose. All right, group 2, what's the truth in this moment that you need to hear? Some sort of good karma coming in. It's about damn time, right, group 2? There's that 8 of Wands that we were talking about. Let me just get out your top row here. I think I'll probably only do the top row. It depends. If I need clarifying cards, I'll bring them out. One more, please, for the truth for group 2. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles, Tower, 3 of Cups, and I'm just going to bring out this Hermit. You know what? We're going to go for the whole bottom of the deck here. The truth in this moment for group 2. I feel like we're all in the space of like congratulatory space in this moment, because I feel that with your collective as well. And this is really... It is congratulating you for overcoming or moving out of a cycle in which it was like being of service to somebody, but in a way that was not so like, okay, in a way that like the 6 of Cups being in service is where there's like give and take, right? But the 3 of Pentacles, excuse me, the way that it comes in terms of being acts of service for me in particular, even though it's a good energy card, the way that it presents specifically in the Light Seers deck is like being of service so that other people can sort of catapult forward. It is kind of like being in a space of enabling a little bit, being around energies that really just take and take and take and take and take, right? While you're just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. And the interesting thing is that the truth in this moment is either you're kind of in this space but you're becoming aware of it quickly, or you are quickly understanding this and moving out of it. So it's kind of one or the other. It was interesting because in group 1, I saw this like fork in the road where there were kind of 2 collectives that are on the same energetic path, tapping into that reading, and then there would be a fork in the road depending on the choice that was made or the decision that they would make in terms of their situation. And that's kind of the same thing here, is that but in terms of it's more of an awareness fork in the road, where it's like we're going to be either waking up to this and pivoting, or we are aware of this and we're pivoting. Either way, we're pivoting, and so that's a good thing. So we're getting out of these spaces of instability, specifically surrounding like player type energy. If I'm going to be here we go again with the transparency thing. I'm always transparent. So, but that's how it's reading. And I know that I've said I wasn't going to do stuff about connections, but this is really about being in a space with sort of those energies that are, how do I even explain this? They just take up so much energy. That's like they take up so much of your time, so much of your energy. It's like the kind of energies that you dwell over, right? You spend copious amounts of time wondering how they feel or how they think, and they're non-communicative, and just like, we're done with that. It's like a new era. Okay, we're over it. We're all grown humans here. Let's learn how to communicate. Thank you, goodbye. Right? Like, I feel like that's like really the thing that's coming in quickly, is like this realization that that's not how the 10 of Pentacles energy works, right? That's not how genuine connection works. That's not how unconditional love works. That's not how we alchemize together. That's literally how we remain stuck. I do feel like there is this, so you could actually be in a moment right now. You could be in I don't know, energetically it doesn't feel that way. I feel like this Tower moment isn't sort of the breaking down of an old system, but it's more so that it's such a like stepping into our power vibe, and that really comes through anyway in the Light Seers deck, just the way that the Tower represents, the way that it comes out with all these, look at all these butterflies coming out of this space when the lightning hits it and stuff. It's just a different vibe than the standard Rider-Waite tarot, or the standard Rider-Waite Tower, in my opinion anyway. So it's more so that this is just an awareness that's coming in, and not even, it's like, it's more so a stepping into our own power, and it's more so a congratulatory space. And it's also this hit too, is that if you feel like, I actually don't know if I don't feel like you do feel like, I think there was a moment actually where you felt as though it was like just enduring for what cause, like what is the purpose of being in this space, and what is the purpose of having to go through this moment, and why are we in this BS essentially. And I think you're really coming out of that. You're coming into an era, coming into opening yourself up to viewing love and viewing connection and self in a much different capacity than you had been previously. And I want to say, like, as previously as even a couple weeks ago, this is very recent energy, realistically. And the energetic shift within the collective too has taken a big upcurrent. It has really shifted out of a different energetic vibration. It's really moved up. A lot of you in this collective are really stepping into your power, and you're really choosing yourself in this moment, and really acknowledging what it is that what you have to offer, and how that would look if it was reciprocated back to you. Because I don't like the word deserve in this space, right? Because I think that all people are deserving of unconditional love, but how they operate matters. And if we are in a space and dealing with a connection where their energetic alignment, they just kind of want to sit in cycles, right? Cycles of being in just, I don't know, jealousy, animosity, anger, hatred, all of those things that keep them sort of spiraling, right? And if you start working on things like gratitude, joy, confidence, finding things that you're passionate about, well, you are slowly but surely moving out of an alignment with that person. And eventually there will be like a big shakeup where there's a disconnect. Like, you can no longer realistically operate in the same space because you're no longer in alignment with each other. And those energies, it's like friction almost. They don't, like, how do I explain? It's kind of like friction, right? Where they're not magnetized, but it's like more so, I wish I could, this is the thing, is that when I look back and I listen to this reading in the future, I'm going to know the word immediately that would make sense in this moment. But while I'm reading, and channeling, it's so hard to find the right word in this space. But there's a lot of resistance. These two energies cannot work together. They are sort of the opposite. Or it actually kind of is like you know what, that's a great way to put it. You know how when you put like two magnets together, and they like literally, because they are the magnetic energy and things come to them, like when they're both magnetizing, they cannot come together, right? They don't, do they come together? I guess they do. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just look at me. This is a silly old tarot reader on YouTube. Somebody understand what I'm saying and then put the perfect word in the comments and be like, this is the word you were searching for, Crystal. And I'll be like, yes, thank you so much. Moving on. Okay, so anyway, you're moving into a space too. Another thing is that you may have in the past had a closed heart chakra, which really does put you in alignment with specific energies when it's kind of closing off our heart and being afraid of getting hurt, or keeping ourselves closed off from being able to accept love or feel love or give love, even realistically, you know. And now you're in this space of really opening up your heart chakra and starting that process of really allowing love in, and unconditional love in, and especially unconditional love for ourselves. Something that I want you to tap into or look into is healing your heart chakra, or watching Reiki videos about opening up this space. It's really effective, actually. In fact, I would just watch Reiki. It's very, very therapeutic. It's great for like right before you go to bed too, because it's always so peaceful, and it puts you in the great, like a great energetic alignment to like lay down and go into dream world. And I swear that there are so many messages that occur in dreamland in the 5D. I do not think that we are going nowhere when we sleep, personally, but that's just me. And we all are allowed our own opinions and thoughts. Okay, so let's get you some messages from the Gabrielle Bernstein deck. I just realized that I told group 1 that I was gonna do these messages for them, and I totally forgot. Oops. If you watched group 1 as well, I'm sorry. But look, you get to see them here. Yay. All right, group 2. What are some messages for you in this moment? True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Facts. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Instead of praying for an outcome, super important here, y'all, I pray for the highest good of all. Y'all, every time, okay, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Every time I sit down, well, it's not really a secret. I've said it on here before, but anyway. Every time I sit down and I do a reading here, I say a protection prayer every time. And at the end of this protection prayer, it always acknowledges the greater good for all people in the situation. And so it's always moving from the space of highest good and the highest good for all people. And that's super important to actually moving forward and dealing with connections. I recently was in a space where I have to be the bad guy, and I don't know how to communicate that, because I've like moved out of, I've really recognized some of my more feisty patterns of behavior in the past. And so now I'm in this space of really wanting to make sure that I sort of, set people down lightly, instead of just like coming in with my combative, like, no, this doesn't work for me, being in that sort of, because that's really kind of a controlling space, right? And so, but anyway, it's moving into this space too of the greatest good for all people. That really does shift your energetic alignment, but it also shifts your behavior and how you deal with people. And also, weirdly enough, it also shifts how people communicate with you. I used to have like a really bad attitude in my past, like years ago. And now it's like everywhere I go, people I don't even know are like, sweet, they're calling me sweetheart. And I live in, I mean, I guess it is Midwest nice, you know, but I feel like baby and sweetheart and all that is more of a Southern thing. And I don't know. I definitely never used to get called sweetheart, and now I do. So it does shift your alignment with people and how people operate with you as well. All right, group 2. I think that's the message here in this moment is congratulations for all that you've worked on to get into this moment. It looks like there's a big leap forward for you and a new beginning for you in terms of that unconditional love we have with self in order to be able to give and receive that in spaces outside of self. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below and turn on notifications so that you may be notified when new videos arrive. Thank you so much for being here, group 2. Enjoy the rest of your day. Group 3. Hello, group 3. There's a major energetic shift in this collective. I feel as though many that were in the group 3 collective have pivoted. Y'all, today I was shown that there's like always kind of like 2 collectives essentially that are coming in together in sort of a moment in the same timeline, in the same energy. And then depending on how they operate as a result of the, you know, situations like this, or how they operate energetically within their free will, then they'll pivot and there will be like a fork, and one will go this way into a new energetic alignment and the other will go this way. And I find that just so fascinating because there are actually many who at one point were in this space, and I really do feel like the energy has shifted dramatically in the group 3 space. It's a much different vibe, so much so I'm bringing out the supernatural deck for the group 3 collective, and I've never done that, so we're gonna tap into some energy today, y'all. The one thing I want to say that's coming through right away as the truth in this moment, and again, we're in another congratulatory space you may actually resonate in with the other readings. These are all about moments of congratulations. This is a moment, a pivot in choosing self that is imperative to some sort of new beginning that is occurring within your space. I am so hot in this moment too, and I said yesterday when I tapped into your energy that I was like, y'all, I am sweating in this energy. It is though you are brewing, you're like fuming, you are in a space right now that is, I mean, I don't even think it's impatience, it's like the epitome of readiness. Like, I am ready for a new beginning. I am ready to step into a new space. The tenacity has shifted so dramatically in this collective that it is it's like no holds bar, fed up with, it's a moment, y'all. This is a moment. It is a moment for this collective that you are in a space of really stepping into, it's as though you have stepped into a new timeline, essentially. And doing it so gracefully. All right. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna get so... I don't know if this is PG-13. Why, brain? Why did we just have this moment? But okay, I'm just gonna tell you what I just thought of when I saw this Ace of Cups with the with this girl standing there, because her face is kind of... Is this the Notebook thing? Is that the Notebook girl? Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I know. Slaughter me in the comments. It kind of looks like her though, but like this face she has is kind of like this smirk, right? And she's holding this cup, and look at the cup. It's just like overflowing with this, like, this doesn't look like water. You know, that does not look like water. And it's like I don't know, but it's giving a moment that this woman is in a space of just holding on to all the climaxes that never went anywhere, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from that. What is the truth that group 3 needs to hear in this moment, please? I have the 10 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups in the reverse. The Tower. What else do we have for the truth that group 3 needs to hear? Strength. And then you have the 6 of Cups. You know what's interesting is that normally, okay, hold on, let me get down here. The 2 of, you have the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, normally I would see the 3 of Cups in the reverse in a little bit different way than it came in right now. But as soon as I pulled out that cup, it was like, I'm not giving to you anymore, I'm giving to me. It was like a straight like thing that I heard inside my head was like, I'm done giving in this space, I'm giving in this space. It's a me moment. I'm giving to me. And y'all have been sort of riding this wave for a little bit of really choosing yourself. But it is kind of that it's sort of like the thoughts that have been alchemizing in this space are coming into fruition. And I want to say, y'all, the energy in this space is so feminine. Y'all are so present in everything that you're doing. You're becoming so present. You're getting out of this space of really, you're really stepping out of a space and out of an alignment with that overthinking. You're just doing and just flowing in with whatever is presented to you in the moment. If an idea comes to you, and actually group 3, I want you to know that this is putting you in such a state of being in a receptive moment in which you are really alchemizing, like gifts being given to you. And it's coming through as this hit of reminding you that all things come full circle, right? You are a collective that has been, you're so giving, you're so selflessly giving to those around you. And it's like, it's again this reminder of energetic alignment. It's coming back to you. It's all coming back to me now. This is your moment. And interestingly enough too, with this tower moment, typically I would see a tower moment as sort of, well, I see it the same, I still see it as things being shooken up, but I think that what's being shooken up realistically is this choice and this sort of me moment where we're doing things more for ourselves and we're really stepping into an alignment with our personal power and having an exponential amount of strength through it. Now, okay, so within this timeline here and how it's being presented to me is that there are some of you in this space who you've already begun the process. You're here, you're in this moment. And for the others of you, there is this sort of, if you make this choice to really begin putting yourself first, then you're also going to pivot into this. This is going to be your pivot. Okay. And like, that's the trajectory here, is that there are some of you who are kind of already in it. And some of you that it's like the truth that you need in this moment is that choosing yourself is going to provide you an opportunity to pivot into a new beginning. And it's also moving out of space. I do see the Six of Cups as equal give and take. But in my opinion, in this collective, and just having been reading for a while, it is your collective moving out of a space where there is not equal give and take. Now, my throat chakra immediately, I know this is like side noting this a little bit because it has nothing to do at all with the Six of Cups. I'm sorry, but it was just, I was thinking about it because my throat was hurting. So just bear with me if I seem like I just trail off into a new topic. I have ADHD. Okay, so now we're all on board and we're all on the same page. Throat chakra. My throat chakra through this has been really bothered. So at first I was like, I had to like drink something. I was like coughing, and right now there's like a fire in my throat. So I do want to say that I can recognize that this is territory for you that is uncomfortable, and you are having to utilize strength through it to build into that voice that you have, or build into really honoring self, because it's really easy to say things, but it's so much more difficult to embody them, right? It's so much more difficult to take those steps and to step into an alignment with that. And this is really a reminder too of finding your voice in this space and finding your voice in this moment, and understanding as well that your voice matters. And so realistically, I feel like the truth in this situation, or the truth that you need to hear, is so much more about you than it is necessarily about anybody else. And again, it's like this congratulatory space that you're in, where this decision that you have made to really step into your personal power is paying off. Bam. Okay, let's move you. Let's get you some messages in this moment. I'm going to do the Starseed Oracle. I feel like this is a little bit shorter of a read than I normally do here, and I'm sorry, group 3. I just feel like that message kind of came through pretty clearly, and it's not really providing any more details, but we'll see if anything comes through. What is the truth? What are some messages of truth here? We have earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down time in nature. The cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. The seeds of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe, and big picture thinking. Pleads energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Now, I actually know, see, I have an in with this collective a little bit, because there are some in here that are in this beginning stage of like this entrepreneurial state, right? Where you're starting little businesses and things like that, and really stepping into an alignment with that, and stepping into the alignment of being in a space where working for yourself is incredibly rewarding. I think that's something that the system doesn't want us to know about realistically, because when you are the one putting in all of the effort to generate a response, and it's well received, man, there's nothing more rewarding than that. So just like a side note for a few of you in this collective that are in this entrepreneurial state, and you are building into like little small businesses, keep going, because that space is so rewarding, especially in terms of stepping into your personal power, really moving into a space of doing things for yourself. And I've had this come up in this collective a few times over of generating wealth for yourself, or building some sort of income, or that what you are doing is to generate even if it's like a little side hustle, and it's not necessarily going to pay all your bills, but it's something just for you that you're doing. And even if you're not making money from it, but there's something that you are like, that's just for you, that you are doing. And this is sort of coming in to remind you to not give up in that space, and also to inform you of how rewarding that is, and how this can heal parts of you. I'm telling y'all, it can heal parts of you that you didn't know needed healing when you begin moving in a space where you are truly being seen, and that now people are being receptive and giving back to you, and giving into you in a way that is rewarding and fulfilling and really seeing you for who you are. There's very little more rewarding than that in terms of, especially because it's very scary sometimes. Like, it's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to move into these spaces. And then so to move into those spaces and have them be well received is just the most rewarding thing. And so it's kind of just another moment here of congratulating you on this journey. Or it could, if you're not in that space, it could be something to, hey, look into. Maybe you've thought about it. Maybe there are things that you've kind of been like, I would really do great in this, and I could be able to do this. I tell people, like, literally, if you're my friend, like, on a personal level, and my friends can attest to this, right? That those that are in my inner circle, like, they'll be like, I can do this thing. And I'm like, you could make money doing that. You can make this, and you can do this, and you could do this, this, and this, and this. Like, I am always creating little entrepreneurs around me. And like, you could work for yourself, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, and really just busting out ideas and friends around me going, because everything is marketable when it comes down to it, especially if it's a passion and if you're good at it. I've had so many people that just like, I had one of my friends, she gave me a body butter, right, that she made. And this, first of all, the stuff is magic. It's literally magic, y'all. And I was like, you could sell this on a grand scale. Actually, you could make a website and you could sell this. I had my cousin once like made me lip balm, and I was like, why aren't you selling this? Like, you could be selling this. So, if there's something that you're really into that is marketable, like, maybe you could do a little side hustle, and that's a great way for you to get into a space of really honoring yourself as well. All right, group 3, my throat is on fire, so I'm going to go ahead and close out this reading. I don't know what it is in this energy. It is kind of, it's a little bit more of a fiery energy today, and a little bit more of a lot of passion surrounding this choice for self. It's pretty major in this moment. And so again, this is just a congratulations for you. The truth that you need to hear in this moment is to make sure that you look back at how far that you've come and recognize how that has molded and shaped you into the beautiful, amazing person that you are today, group 3. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonated with this, please like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on notifications for when new videos arrive. And as always, leave me a comment down below, because those are my favorite part. Thank you so much for being here, group 3. Enjoy the rest of your day.